Hey, recording.
Hey, family, peace. Welcome to Tref Talk Tuesdays. I am your host, Jay Morrison, CEO and founder of the historic Tulsa Real Estate Fund, and I'm working multiple platforms at one time as we are in a bit of, I won't call it a celebratory mode. I will. I'm going to call this a bit of a celebratory mode or move. Again, welcome to Tulsa Talk Tuesdays, Tref Talk Tuesdays. This is a transparency platform that we're doing for the Tulsa Real Estate Fund. We usually do this one Tuesday a month, sometimes every week. But now, for the next 7 days, we are doing Tref Talk Tuesdays every single day until April 29th, midnight, which is going to be the last day for our final capital raise of the Tulsa Real Estate, of the historic Tulsa Real Estate Fund. While I'm excited, while my energy is high, while I'll probably be yelling during this video and this live stream for you all, is because we're approaching 2 years of launching this company, which June 1st makes 2 years, but we're also approaching our final capital raise. And big, I would probably say biggest of all, is that we are chasing Garvey, Marcus Garvey, the Honorable Marcus Garvey, in the legendary Black Star Line. We are chasing their capital raise record for Black-owned company, Group Economics. We are chasing that record in real life. And we have till April 29th, midnight, to make that happen historically as a company. So I want to dive into the Chasing Garvey concept, give you guys what that means to us, who Marcus Garvey was, what the Tulsa Real Estate Fund is, who I am, what the Black Star Line was, and why is it significant that I'm so hype about it right now, and your opportunity to partner with us, be a co-owner of the Tulsa Real Estate Fund, the historic Tulsa Real Estate Fund in real life. So I want everyone who's on live stream to share this right now for your platforms. Feel free to comment, feel free to like, feel free to share, of course, and to repost and all that good stuff. As we're going to talk about historical work, and we know sometimes they call it history, but we know history goes to the victor, and they call it his story. So whoever controls their narrative gets to control the history. And I was watching a Netflix special last night on Waco, Texas, right? The movie Waco. Many of you guys seen it on Netflix. And I was like 13, 14 years old when the Waco incident happened with David Koresh and the cult, they called it, down in Waco, Texas. And I remember the news talking about this cult leader and how they killed all these people. It was a mass suicide. They burned themselves and all that. Then from watching a documentary, right, so the news and the FBI and news reports all made it seem like it was this mass suicide, right? They controlled the history narrative for Waco. But as this documentary or movie comes out, they kind of shown that it was more likely that the tear gas that was used caused the fire, and therefore the government was actually responsible potentially for the killing of and manslaughter of 90 plus people in Waco, Texas. But it was positioned in media as, right, because they controlled the narrative. And so when it comes to our Tulsa Real Estate Fund, I know it's an extreme example to use, but it is a relevant example. And what I've realized is we're so busy doing the work that many times we don't put the intentional energy to control our historical narrative, right? So I want to go over some of that narrative with you all, and then we're going to hop into Tref Talk Tuesdays. I want to take questions from you all. Ask me anything. My team's on the chat. I'm watching the live stream. I'm going to actually pin our website for everybody. Please type it, share it with your friends, family, etc. Our 7-day countdown website is this phone's so small, invest with Tref, TREF.com, right? That's where you go to get more details on become a partner in our company, our historic company, and being a part of our last capital raise. So again, our fund is not closing. Our fund is still open. Our Legacy Center is still here. I just got off a great meeting today about our 98-unit apartment complex and some things that we're doing for affordable housing and rent-ready housing in Macon, Georgia. Still lending out capital, still financing deals, but we are having our final capital raise under our company. But let's talk about his or her story, right? And how we control our NAV. So for all our TREF partners, we're going to be emailing this out to you all. And we want you guys to post this stuff. Actually, King Gene, please make a note to our team for all of our memes, our flyers, and this narrative. I want to email them out to all of our TREF partners so they have our marketing collateral for those who want to promote our company, our nearly 10,000 plus partners. I want all of you all to get active as co-owners and partners in our company of promoting what's going on with our fund, our progress, etc. So guys, let's talk about history. So Tulsa Real Estate Fund in real life, here's 12 TREF facts that everyone should know, right? So one, TREF, Tulsa Real Estate Fund, the historic Tulsa Real Estate Fund. And I call it historic because we are the first Black-owned real estate crowd fund in the history of America. Now, if there was a first sit-in in history, the first Underground Railroad, the first basketball league, the first whatever, right? Those things are historical events in most cases, right? The first or largest of anything. Well, we are the first Black-owned real estate crowd fund in the history of America, right? We are the largest Black-owned real estate crowd fund in the history of America. And to our reports and research, we are the only Black-owned real estate crowd fund today in the history of America. So that is history, period. Done right there. Just the execution, not the attempt, but the execution. And this idea was birthed in 2015, and we walked it down and launched it in 2018, and here we stand in 2019, where we are. So the historic Tulsa Real Estate Fund has raised over $8.75 million in less than 2 years, just 1.55 million shy of surpassing Marcus Garvey, the Honorable Marcus Garvey, and the historical Black Star Line Corporation. We did that from mobilizing nearly 10,000 prospective co-owners and investment partners. So that right there is the first TREF fact I want all of you to know, that we've raised over $8.5 million, over $8.7 million in less than 2 years. And that amount we've raised from nearly 10,000 prospective TREF partners, right? And that amount also is just 1.5 million shy from surpassing Marcus Mosiah Garvey in the Black Star Line's historic capital raise of $800,000 back in 1920 during the Spanish influenza, the Spanish flu. Like we got COVID-19 right now, where they had the Spanish flu. And we are just 1.5 million shy from surpassing our great ancestor in the Black Star Line, who raised $800,000 with no social media, which is equivalent to $10.3 million today. So they raised an equivalent of $10.3 million today with no social media. We raised 8.75 and are 1.55 million shy of surpassing our ancestors to be the most leading and from a capital raise perspective, potentially prolific company, Black-owned company, to practice equitable group economics in real life. So that's an exciting number and fact and stat for us. So that's the first TREF fact I want to leave with. And we are hashtagging and we are living chasing Garvey. We are chasing it. It's like LeBron. People are like, what do you mean chasing Garvey? Why would you chase Garvey? Well, why are you competing with our ancestor? What do you mean? Have you ever read the philosophies of Marcus Garvey? You would never ask me, why are we chasing Garvey, if you ever actually read anything from Marcus Garvey, if you ever read his works. Marcus Garvey was all about dignity, upliftment, up, you mighty race, accomplish what you will. Marcus Garvey was all about the upliftment of all races. Marcus Garvey was the one that met with the Ku Klux Klan. He said, why would I be afraid to meet with my enemies? Marcus Garvey said, I'm not concerned about what a white man did or didn't do, because the white community has handled their business to uplift their community. We should actually look to them for inspiration and respect them from even though we may not respect historically what European Americans or Europeans may have done in enslavement and cruelty and all those things. But Marcus Garvey said, you got to respect the fact they took care of their race. They handled their business. And he said, what's wrong with you Black people that you won't go out and just handle your business? That was Marcus Garvey. So we say chasing Garvey, I'm saying that we didn't wait for somebody to come save us. Tulsa Real Estate Fund went out as the first Black-owned real estate crowdfund in the history of America and went out to unify our dollars to respectively have a capital vehicle to help improve our community, advance our community, to do it collectively with group economics and do it in real life. And we're 1.55 million shy in the digital social media area from surpassing one of our greatest ancestors and historical companies in our community. Think about all the ball players you know, the moguls you know, hip hop stars, activists, religious leaders, all the historic organizations you've ever heard of in African-American history, what I call Africans in America, Aborigine history, however you want to look at it. And the Black Star Line and Marcus Garvey forever have been number one in raising equitable capital, meaning everybody having interest and ownership in his company called the Black Star Line, which raised $800,000, equivalent to $10.3 million today. Well, the Tulsa Real Estate Fund, Tref Life, is the second, it's my second Tref fact. Tulsa Real Estate Fund is the largest Black-owned company this century, the last 100 years, and the second largest in African-American history to have successfully implemented equitable group economics in real life. I'm gonna let that breathe for a minute. Let that sit. So they can try to spin and redirect our narrative. I'm talking about Tref facts. Tulsa Real Estate Fund is the largest Black-owned company this 100 years, this last century. Name them. Run them down. Think of every company you know, from every influencer you've ever heard of, from every political leader, religious leader, entrepreneur, ball player, prolific figure, prolific organization you know. Every church you know. Every mosque and temple you know. And not one has offered, or what we called it, has implemented, successfully implemented equitable group economics more so than a Tulsa Real Estate Fund, except the Black Star Line of Marcus Garvey, which were 1.55 million shy from passing. Now, that should be for all communities, for the human race. This should be a good thing. There should be no naysayer to this. There should be no anti-this. Opportunity to make great progress and to be able to implement and execute a vision and to be self-determined and self-proactive and be this diligent and all that. So anyway, we're excited about that. Trefax is an historical opportunity for us. I want you all, as you go potentially invest with us, I want you to read our website, read our disclosures, read our agreements. I don't want you just to invest off of emotion and historical energy or social whatever. I want you to understand our company, and what our company is we are a real estate crowdfund that offers shares or member units of our company at $50 per share to non-accredited and accredited investors, working class people, institutions, wealthy people, non-wealthy people, where you can invest a minimum of 10 shares, 10 member units, which means $50 per unit at 10 units is $500 investment. You must invest a minimum $500. You certainly can invest more, 10,000, 5,000, 1,000, 2,500, 700, 650, right? But $50 per share for you to invest member unit. And with that investment, you are eligible for an 8% preferred return, future profit shares of our company. It's a cumulative return, meaning it adds up any year it's not paid. It's a long-term investment. It's not you get paid monthly. You may not get paid the first year. Our investors right now have not gotten a distribution in almost 2 years. But, let's get to the Tref facts, right? Transparency is a big part of our fund. So, next Tref fact. Tulsa Real Estate Fund. provides financial transparency through audited annual financials by a third-party independent auditor, which are filed with the SEC, the Security and Exchange Commission. So, again, outside of all the things that Jay Morrison's saying, because I remember when I founded the TREF Fund, the Tulsa Real Estate Fund, I had this vision of how we could, God gave me a vision for us, right? That's how I say it, whether you like it or not. God gave me a vision for us. And I walked and lived out and I executed that vision since 2015. And we're here today. And in that vision, I didn't want to be another charismatic leader who can rally the troops to raise capital, but there was no transparency with our finances, our community, pool or pot of capital or money. And I wanted to make it a way where we can get past those mistrusts, those myths, where there was some regulation involved, what I call sophistication, right, and all that. And so our fund is registered with the Security and Exchange Commission, the SEC, which is a federal organization. And we do offer audited financials. The financials are done by a third-party company, not our company. This is an independent auditor that comes in and audits our financials. And our 2019 audit had no adverse opinions, right? Adverse or adversary opinions. So they had anything adversary to say about us after reviewing all of our financials, right? So, and you can find it, and you can see it on our website, www.investwithtref.com, or go to the sec.gov. Our financials are online, transparent. So when you all see the narrative of what they say and trying to control our history, you can double check and look at these things for yourself and see his story, the real narrative. So we have audited financials. So we're not doing something in the dark. We're not doing something that, financially, again, is not displayed, is not regulated, is not audited in real life. So next TREF fact. TREF has given working class families the opportunity to own interest in a diverse multi-million-dollar real estate portfolio for an industry low minimum of $500. Again, y'all, the people that own our company, they own shares of our company, member units. They own their interest in shares of the Black House, our 30,000 square foot commercial building. This ain't fake. This is you investing and partnering with $500 minimum, and then instantly having ownership share for your family, for your legacy, in a 30,000 square foot, 2.6 acre campus in a qualified opportunity zone called the Black House here in Atlanta, Georgia, plus a diverse multi-million-dollar real estate portfolio in real life. I was just talking to my little brother, Art Morrison, and we were talking about how we shared one bathroom with 6 of us. It wasn't no 3 bathrooms, 2.5 baths, or it wasn't none of that. It wasn't no halves. We had 6 of us in a 2-bedroom with 1 bathroom. We shared a goddamn bathroom. And we were just talking about how nowadays we can look at the real estate portfolio our family owns, back to Tulsa Real Estate Fund, our 98-unit apartment complex. But I'm just saying, for the working class person, and the person that grew up how I grew up, or is living how I once lived. I've been in shelters, I've been homeless, I've been poor, my family's been on welfare, we've been on WIC, we've been on Section 8, I've been homeless, high school dropout, I've been in prison, I've been on work release, I've been on house monitoring, I've been on probation, I've been on parole, I've been bankrupt, I've been in foreclosure, I've had short sales. For the person that comes from financial hardship, but I'm pretty freaking smart and I'm pretty resilient. But for the person that comes from hardship, the opportunity for me, my vision, was the opportunity for someone that comes from hardship to have an opportunity to spend the same money they probably would have spent on some Christmas gifts, liabilities, on some Valentine's Day, on some birthdays, or something else, and have the ability to have even a fractional 0.001% ownership in an apartment complex. Like, you live in an apartment complex, but you also can own an apartment complex. Like, this was the whole, Like that is like the core of the fund. Like from a real estate perspective, like a goal of mine was to make it possible for those who grew up with Section 8 in government housing like me, where their families could make a financial decision, if they qualify, to invest $500 in own shares of not just one apartment complex, but the interest in multiple apartment complexes, plus Class A office space, plus residential real estate, plus future deals that we do in our company. Not to mention the 8% preferred return and future 50% share of the profits. Like that is like, it ain't for everybody. Everybody won't get it. But those who know, they know. Like for us, that means something for those who know. So I'm going over Tref facts and I'm getting back to us chasing Garvey. So we're chasing Marcus Garvey in a black star line in real life. Next Tref fact, number 5. Tref fact number 5. Tref's current portfolio's projected stabilized value is $12.8 million. So our current portfolio, our projected stabilized value is $12.8 million, meaning the projected profits of the assets we have once stabilized, $12.8 million, although we've raised $8.75 million, showing you some level of progress, right? And again, our financials are audited, they're independent. These are Tref facts. This is the real story. King Gene, make a note for me, please, as we do this. In Tref fact 5, it should say portfolio '(S). Tref's current portfolios. Well, maybe not. I'm not the grammar guy. I'm a numbers guy. Don't mind me. Forget that. Have Queen Dana check on it. I'm doing too much. Stay in your lane, Jay. Next Tref fact, number 6. Tref co-owning partners. Remember, when you invest in Tref and invest with Tref, you are a co-owner and partner. Tref's co-owning partners are eligible to receive an 8% preferred return, cumulative return, and 50% future profit return. So what that means, if you invest $500, that means year 1, annually, you are due 8%. You're eligible for 8% on your $500, which is $40 on your $500. The next year, you're due another $40 on your $500. The next year, you do another $40 on your $500. So if dividends aren't paid for 2 years, 3 years, whatever years, you're still owed your cumulative return of that 8% on that $500 initial investment of ownership. As we stabilize our assets, re-tenant assets, and do all these different real estate functions, which is a whole other lesson, we then can, potentially see profitability. You got to understand, we're doing commercial real estate development. We're doing apartment complex value add scenarios. We're doing Class A office space and media space, media hub studio build out, office space build out, co-working space. We're talking about full campuses. We're doing lending on fix and flips, bundle loans, private lending, acquisitions, right? We're doing all kinds of syndication participation. So some of these deals take time, but you can still see where the dollars are, where they're at, what our progress is. We have newsletters monthly. We do these Tref talks. We're transparent as best as we can within the activity of our fund. But you are due that 8%. Now, many people say, what, $40 on 500? Man, that's not nothing. I got 2 things to say to that. 1, you have to look at where else can you invest your capital. Mind you, just investment is not guaranteed. But where else you can invest your capital to receive an 8% return. So you have to look at other financial institutions. Where's your capital sitting today? In a checking account. Checking account, you're getting 0.001%. Not 8%, not 1%, not 2%, not 3%, 0.001% in many checking accounts. And your bank saving account. We've had millions in our savings account and still could only get 2%. Now, mind you, some of these rates of return were backed up by the bank, FDIC insured, they were more stable, right? So I want to make that comparison clear. But nevertheless, I'm just saying, obviously, there's a greater risk to Tref than your capital in certain bank institutions. There's also, with that greater risk comes more potential reward. With less risk, you get 0.001% or 2% or 1%. Then you have your stock market, your 401ks. We all just saw what happened with 401ks. 401ks just dipped with the pandemic. right? Some have risen back, whatever, but you see there's volatility in the market and nothing's guaranteed. Also, our liability dollars. What about all the $500, $1,000, or $2,500 that we have spent on things that we've seen no return from? Don't even have a good memory of. The nights you blew money and can't even remember what you did with it, etc. So mind you, that still may not be where you would, may still not be where you want to put your capital. That's not, but I'm just saying, when we talk about 8% return on $500 as an industry low minimum, this is an opportunity. You can always find what's wrong with an opportunity. If you want to look at a glass that is half full, you can certainly look at it and say, damn, that shit's half empty. It's almost empty. It's almost gone. Any of us can look at a glass that is half full and say it's half empty. You can look at Treff and look at the bright side of Treff, or you can say, oh man, that's new. It's this, it's that. And you totally have the right to do that, and we ain't hold nothing against you. But for some of us, we can look at the opportunity to raise $1.55 million in the next 7 days and surpass the Honorable Marcus Garvey and the Black Star Line and say, damn it, I'm on board. Put my name anywhere next to Marcus Garvey and the Black Star Line, I'm on board. That's some of us. Some of us, we got different. Some of us, give me interest 0.001% of an apartment complex or office building for $500, I'm on board. Some of us. And that's who we're calling the action to. It's for those of us who are like, come on, who could really say, look at their wife, look at their husband, like, man, $1,000, $2,500, like, come on, honey. Like, for the opportunity to come together, when we've been talking about how can we come together? Let's build a Black Wall Street. Come on, yo, Black economics. We spend 1.3 million a year, trillion a year, right? We always say those things, but when we have an opportunity, oh man, the ship not good enough. That underground railroad ain't wide enough. That glass, that ain't full enough. We're talking about those who see opportunity in this business model to prove and practice group economics, not just for Tulsa Real Estate Fund, not just for Jay Morrison and Man, but for us. Because with this proven concept, we can duplicate it and multiply it for all of us. Imagine all the influencers, bigger than me, wiser than me, more influential than me, if they all had this model and we could pull our dollars together in real life. Another opportunity. So back to Treff facts. Some of the facts. Treff facts. Number 7. Treff's projected IRR is 8.7% by 2024, assuming a fund liquidity event. What that means is based on our current assets and our projected turnover of our investments and assets. We project that by 2024, we will have caught all our investors up on all their dividend payments and paid everyone out 8.7% internal rate of return by 2024, assuming we sold everything we had in 2024. We may not and likely won't do that, but what we're saying is that there's projections and a clear path for our projected and hopeful progress. And I use words like projected, estimated, hopeful, because as a fund manager and fiduciary that is in a company that is highly regulated, we can't make promises, we can't make forward-looking statements, right? And so I have to make sure I'm saying things in a measured way for you all, right? And that's just part of me being a good fund manager and a good partner and aiming to be in as full as compliance as possible. But what we are saying is that what I'm excited about is saying if the Legacy Center performs as we hope and wish, as our Treadway 98 unit apartment complex performs as we wish, as our other several assets of deals, of mortgages and loans, they all come back and we reinvest them, they come back and all that, we would be in position to realistically, from our projections, conservative projections, return and pay everyone back their full investment and return 8.7% by 2024. That is in our financial model. That is done by our CFO. I've overseen it. I've been through the model. It is done conservatively, not aggressively, not hopeful, not wishful. Treff fact 8. Tulsa Real Estate Fund has provided millions of dollars of private financing to Black-owned development firms across the country, including nearly $1 million capital to Black female developers. These are TREF facts. We literally have given up $1 million of investment, fuel, capital, equity, debt financing to Black women developers. One, we funded 100% financing. And millions to several other Black-owned development firms. This is what we did. We, us, in real life. That's what we did. It's the facts. So for those who are late coming on, I'm going through TREF facts right now. I'm going to go back to TREF Fund fact 1. Again, I need everybody hashtagging chasing Garvey, TREF life and real life. I need everyone to actually consider investing, getting your friends, your family to invest. Have them watch this live and say, yo, you might want to listen to this brother and maybe take him serious. Look me up. Look at my resume. Look at my body of work. I'm not talking about what they say, my resume. My resume is different than what some may say. I'm talking about my resume. I'm talking about my consistent body of work, year after year after year, 18 years in the real estate business. Now, 8 years in social activism. 6 years as a teacher, instructor, and the founder of the Jay-Morrison-Academy, Inc. 500, number 588 fastest growing companies in the country. I'm talking about my resume of loving in, pouring in, sowing seeds, nurturing our communities and our people. Like in real life, communities all over the country, over 32 cities. Resume. That's my work. Like I put the work in. I did. And I got the proof. I got all the videos and photos as proof. I documented the whole time. So over the next 7 days, you're going to be seeing my resume documented from 2015. I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you this work. I'm not Johnny come lately. I ain't just pop up off the ground. Nah, I put in the work. I put in the work since 2015 when I first started the Tulsa Real Estate Fund. That's how we got here today. I didn't let the idea fly. Everybody told me it couldn't be done. They told me we couldn't even raise minimums at $500. I went to a crowd converge convention on stage on a panel, and they almost laughed me off the panel. A group full of other fund managers and prospective people said, you can't do fund minimums at $500. Now, mind you, it's a headache. I ain't gonna lie. It's a headache. It's a lot of paperwork, a lot of K1s, a lot of investors. Again, we have one of the largest investor pools in the country in a Reg A fund for one offering. I think the largest per off reports, but I'll just say one of the largest to be as accurate as possible. And we did it though. Like they literally in 2016 in Las Vegas on a panel almost laughed me off stage when I said our minimum is gonna be $500 when everyone else was saying 10,000, 5,000, 2,500 minimum. I don't come from that kind of environment where we got 2,500, everybody. Some of us do, but many of us don't. But a 5 piece, a 500, all right, I might just swing that. I come from that environment. I'm doing this for my people. So, TREF fact number 1 for those who missed it is Tulsa Real Estate Fund, the historic Tulsa Real Estate Fund, has raised over $8.75 million in less than 2 years, just $1.55 million shy of surpassing the Honorable Marcus Garvey in the historic Black Star Line. We did this from mobilizing nearly 10,000 prospective investors, co-owners, and investment partners. We're just $1.5 million shy of, listen, what do you say? We could talk about everybody in every organization. This is exciting stuff. You see the glow on my face? This is a glow. This is exciting stuff. What do you say? Like imagine if you could beat Dr. King's record of like speeches or something, or most attending a speech, or like Malcolm X records of, you know what I'm saying? Or like Honorable Elijah Muhammad, or Noble Drew Ali, or Harriet Tubman. Like you freed more people than Harriet Tubman. Like these are like historic records here. For us to have the opportunity to raise more capital than Marcus Garvey in the historic Black Star Line, which raised $800,000 in 1920 when the Spanish flu, which is equivalent to $10.3 million today, and us to be $1.5 million nearly away from surpassing them. Mind you, we're cheating because we got social media and they didn't. So if we don't do it, shame on us. Shame on us for having social media and not being able to beat our ancestors, surpass, I don't say beat, but surpass our ancestors, capital raise. back in 1920. Shame on us. But that's just another thought. Again, no pressure to investors. Just make sure that you read the disclosures, and you are this model fits you, right? But from a community perspective, and with social media on our hands, you know, like, come on, like, for real. Because there's 42.5 million of us. There's plenty of us. Again, we should literally be able to raise 40 million overnight. 40,000 of us invest $1,000. Boom, $40 million overnight. Leverage that with a bank at an 80% LTV, $200 million loan. $200 million loan on 40 million. Like, for real. We got social media. I know we got 40,000 of us with a disposable $1,000. Some of us with 500, some of us 2,500, but an average of $1,000. There's no reason why we can't raise 40 million overnight. Like we playing, honestly, in this generation right now. TREF fact number 9. TREF developed the state-of-the-art Legacy Center, AKA Black House, in Atlanta, Georgia, on a 2.6-acre campus to serve as a 30,000 square foot Class A commercial building in a qualified opportunity zone, providing media space, affordable shared workspace, and event space, and small business resources. We did that. The Black House. We do that. Marcus Garvey had the Black Star Line. We got the Black House. In real life. You see what I'm talking about? Chasing Garvey? Listen, we're just doing what our ancestors have been hoping and wishing that we do, is to stop talking about our history, stop talking about what we used to do, stop talking about all the Black Wall Streets, stop talking about the Black Star Line and how we had votes and how we did this, and start doing it actually today. That part. Like, what is wrong with us? Nothing, because we on it now. That's the whole point. Nearly 10,000 plus of us have got off our hands and off our butts and made the move to invest with TREF. Because we are the first, the largest, and the only Black-owned real estate crowdfund in the history of America. Just 1.55 million shy away from surpassing the Honorable Marcus Garvey and the Black Star Line for the highest capital raise in our community for equitable group economics in real life. All right. I told you I'm hype. I'm not going to turn it down. No, unless Ernestine Morrison come down here and tell me to shut up, I ain't toning it down. Number 10, TREF has bought back the block and developed and co-manages 2 city blocks of 98 rental units in Macon, Georgia. So not only do we own an apartment complex, you got to understand, we own the land the apartment complex is on. Our complex is own like 2-3 blocks of land. You want to talk about buying back the block? We own the blocks in 98 rental units. TREF does. We do. Yeah, that part. Again, invest with us starting at $500. You could do it online. It's like 7 steps. Investwithtref.com. That's your first step. 2 more. TREF is professionally managed by a group of real estate and business experts, led by founder, business mogul Jay Morrison, who is an 18-year real estate industry veteran, former licensed realtor, and licensed mortgage professional, active developer, consultant, activist, and accomplished CEO. TREF's under my leadership. I've been involved in this industry in so many capacities. My first time doing anything in real estate was in 2002 as a loan officer, doing mortgages. Then in 2005 as a full-time loan officer, working my way to a branch manager of 2 mortgage branches. And also as a landlord, house flipper, developer, and real estate entrepreneur. And then became a licensed realtor, then became a celebrity realtor. And then wrote 2 books on real estate as an author. And became an expert on platforms, TV shows, to Today Show, NBC, Celebrity Realtor, all that, to fund manager, to consultant, and CEO of other companies and organizations as well. So that part. TREF facts. Number 12, TREF has stimulated local economies by creating nearly 100 jobs in under 2 years, most of which went to minority contractors, vendors, and employees. Listen, for all my TREF partners, my co-owners, my partners, y'all partners with me, we partner, we like this, us. And I need you guys, again, speak on behalf of our company as if you have ownership, because you do. It's a partner thing. Don't let somebody talk bad about your company. Think about it. If this were your company that you were putting a day-to-day work in, and you're a passive investor and passive partner, yes, but it's still your company. Don't y'all go let people talk bad about our company. Like, these are our facts, and we're gonna make sure you get these facts and the memes. And I'm giving you all the marketing content. I'm giving you all that. Everybody, we all in. It's all of us. It's Treff life for life. They can never take away what we've done already to date. Just under 2 years. In under 2 years, we created nearly 100 jobs. Contractors, vendors, staff, employees. That's recirculating our dollar in real life. These are the Treff facts. 12 strong, viable Treff facts. And there's more than that. And guess what? Treff has not been perfect. We won't be perfect in the future. I'll make sure that I'm moving in an honorable way, and we have integrity, and we have transparency, and we are trying our best effort. But you can't expect us to be perfect. I wouldn't expect you to be perfect. And the company I've seen on the market today that operates perfectly, that's an unfair expectation. But can we operate with integrity? Can we operate with an honor, within a reasonable code of responsibility? Due diligence, proficiency to the best? Yeah, we can do that. Can we go hard and work hard? Yeah, for sure. We can do that. Been doing that. So this is, again, Treff Talks every day. Our final capital raise opportunity is April 29th. That's the last chance you have to be a partner in our company, is April 29th. And we are going hard, all of us, not just me. It's not the Jay Show. All of us need to go hard to promote this final opportunity to be a part of the Tulsa Real Estate Fund. Gary Gillies, you're still doing gap funding for projects. King, you know we are. Yes, we are. I know you're working over there too, King G. Peace, love. But this is an opportunity, again, for all of us to be a part of chasing Garvey, man. I just want to look back April 30th or May 1st or 2 years from now or 2 months from now and look back and be like, yo, hands down, Tulsa Real Estate Fund, dollar for dollar, with inflation included, we're using the inflation rate, has raised the most capital as a Black-owned company for group economics, offering equity to everybody ever in the history of the country. I ain't gonna lie, I personally want that. As a fund manager, as a man, as a husband, as a dad, as a Black man, as a human being, as your partner, yeah, I personally want that. I personally want that for us. I personally want to say that Tulsa Real Estate Fund went out, handled our business, and we are the leading #1. And mind you, I don't mind somebody passing us after that. Somebody can pass us. I hope so. That means our community is doing well together. If somebody passes us, that means we are making progress. But until then, I do want to say that we were the first in the last 100 years, largest Black-owned real estate or Black-owned group economics company, or have acted in the large capacity of executing group economics in the last 100 years. And I do want to say, we're second now, but I would love to say that we are, and we will be, hopefully. I love to say, yo, we first. We're #1. I'm going to put it in my Instagram bio, and I will never leave it. I will change my whole everything too. I'm wearing t-shirts with it. I'm putting it everywhere. The largest Black-owned company in the history of America to execute equitable group economics. Man, I put that everywhere. That's something that ain't the part of my hair. You know, we're in quarantine more right now. I did brush it, but it's you know, that's something to hang your hat on. That's something to hang your Treff hat on. Man, imagine going to your church, mosque, temple, your family, your Sunday dinners, man. Listen, my company, this is for all of us. We can say, my company, hey, Uncle John, did you know that my company is the largest Black-owned company in the history of America to execute equitable, cooperative group economics more than any company ever in American history? Yeah, I'm Betty. Did you know my company? Man, that's no bragging rights. Forget your car and you get the Chanel bag and a Louis bag and your kids got the latest game and all of that. That's bragging rights, man. That is bragging rights. And we're talking about 1.55 million. So essentially what we're saying is 1.55 million. So 1,550,000 divided by 1,000. So that's 1,500 of us investing at that. 1,550 of us investing $1,000. For us to pass the Honorable Marcus Garvey and the Black Star Line's capital raise, 1,500 of us, which is about the triple the number on this live, 1,550 of us will have to invest an average of $1,000 to have surpassed Garvey and the Black Star Line. So 1,550,000 divided by $500. That's 3,100 of us. And mind you, if you already invested in TREF and you're a partner, you can reinvest again as well. But that's 3,100 of us investing an average of $500 for us to pass the Honorable Marcus Garvey. Like, and I understand some of us, because we didn't grow up, like they don't teach us Garvey in elementary school, right? So we don't see its significance sometimes. So it don't mean that much to some of us. If you just do a Google search on Marcus Garvey, you would understand why it means so much. That was a bad man. And the Black Star Line was crazy with it. And yeah, I'm talking about, we talk about Malcolm and Fred Hampton and King and everybody else, and they all have earned this ain't no ancestor pinning together. But I'm talking about accomplishment as a activist and entrepreneur. Marcus Garvey, man, that man put up numbers. That king put up numbers in a short amount of time. Jamaican immigrant here in America. So, to my other point, I want to say it for social media. Social media. This is Tulsa Real Estate Fund founder, Jay Morrison, coming to you live. I'm the CEO and founder of the historic Tulsa Real Estate Fund, the first Black-owned real estate crowdfund in the history of America. We've raised over $8.75 million in real life from nearly 10,000 prospective investment partners and co-owners of our company. Every investor is a co-owner and partner in our company. That $8,750,000 that we have raised is just $1,550,000 shy of surpassing the Honorable Marcus Garvey and the Black Star Line of their historic raise in 1920 during the Spanish flu. They raised $800,000 from 1919 to 1920, which is equivalent to $10.3 million today. We are $1,550,000 from surpassing that and be the leading Black-owned company in American history to execute successfully group economics through ownership. And I want y'all to be a part. Go to investwithtref.com. That part. Come join us in making history and learn the details about our fund, our 8% preferred return, 50% profit shares, our fund portfolio, our assets we own, the jobs we created. Come learn the true TREF facts. Investwithtref.com. That was my little commercial, y'all, so I can save that clip later and repost it. You know what I'm saying? You see how I be thinking? I be thinking like, y'all need a good, clean clip for you, King Eugene, and then to cut my clip so we can put it on the blogs. That's how, see how your fund manager, how your partner thinks? Working for us. Listen, I'm here, my wife here. Y'all can't see me on IG, it's my wife. You see half of me, that's my wife right there. We here, we working for us. I'm working for the people. We work for you. We work for the company. We work for the people. So again, I just want to, I gave y'all my energy, man. I'm super excited. As y'all can tell. How could we also be excited? I need everybody to step up. We all got to step our game up. We got 7 days left to invest with TREF. April 29th, midnight. After midnight, we cannot take any more investments after April 29th. So we're closing our final capital raise, last chance for partnership. But with this final closeout, we have an opportunity to beat the historic Marcus Garvey. Not beat, I don't want to say word beat. Surpass, to exceed, to complement, to live out his vision, to enhance his vision. Because he the one that gave us the blueprint. Ain't no us without him. Ain't no us without Garvey. Ain't no us without the Black Star Line. Ain't no us without O.W. Gurley, J.B. Stafford, and the Black Wall Street. Ain't no us without none of our ancestors' contributions. We know that. That's the spirit we operate from. So, people have questions. Okay, what are some questions? Let's go to questions. We got 10 minutes for questions. What are some questions real quick? Let's do it. Questions. Again, investwithtreff.com. And we got to stop standing on our ancestors' shoulders. They tired. If we stand on their shoulders for all these years, you don't think they're tired? We need to give our ancestors a break. Put them on our shoulders. And now we carry forward the way. That's my philosophy. We got to stop leaning on our ancestors and standing on their shoulders. And we take over the burden and the weight now, put them on our shoulders. They're old and tired. They're elders. They're done. The spirits are tired. And we need to take over, and we need to take their blueprint, their charisma, their resilience, and tenacity of what they've shown us. And we need to move forward and execute the things they want us to do in real life. That's what Treff Life's about. Tulsa Real Estate Fund is about living out these things, not hashtagging and blogging these things. All right, questions. $500 is the minimum. Somebody said, how do I invest? You become an investment partner by simply going to investwithtreff.com. I want you guys to read disclosures, read about the fund, click the Invest Now button, and then follow the steps. It's that simple. Follow the steps. Create your account. What is the best self-directed or individual when investing? I can't say what's best, for you. For speed, individual investing is a little better because we have a short 1 week window. And so for speed, individual investing will probably be easier, so to speak, more fluid than, investing through a self-directed. What should I do, my dear? I don't know. My dear. I don't know. King Jim, got any Facebook questions you can share with me?
Yep, they're in the chat, King.
Okay, in the chat? Oh, I got to get fancy and pop the chat up, huh? How do I do the chat? Okay, chat. Okay, chat. I'm getting so technologically inclined. All right. Is there a difference of investing as an individual versus corporation? So as an individual, I'm going to answer your question, Ken W. In 1 second, Ken. As an individual, the difference between an individual and the corporation investing is essentially, if your company invests, you have your company tax implications, and you'll need your company documents to prove to us, right, for your investment to be completed. As an individual, it's a little easier to get qualified, and then any tax implication of losses or profits go to you as a person, as opposed to go to your company and whatever your company tax policies are. So, just that's I guess the best way I can kind of word it. I live in Virgin Islands. Is there a way for me to invest? King Gene, if you can text King JD, I believe we are still accepting international investors. I believe we are. So I believe you can from the Virgin Islands, yes. I did not remember hearing anything that we are not taking on international. Where can I get the Treff merch? I got to see where the Treff merch store is right now. We got Treff tees and polos and fitteds and all that. Let me find out. But everybody, please, Gene, I don't know if do we have a random email list? I want to have them join our email list, but I don't know if the email list is on the site if they don't create their account. I got to see about that. I want to give you an email list to get updates. Gene, make that note for me too, please. We need to have at least a pop-up for the email data so we can capture people that have questions. But yeah, Treff merch. I'm going to send out an email by next week to everyone on where you can get our merchandise, Treff fitteds and all, and the Treff pins, all that good stuff. So Ken W said, a while back you mentioned that your 5.5% management fee is comparable to other funds that have hidden fees. Is there a way we can see that for ourselves? Great point. So we offer a 5.5% flat management fee. In many funds, you'll hear a 2% management fee in crowd funds, sometimes 3%, 4%, whatever. But they also have transaction fees, development fees, acquisition fees, refinance fees, disposition fees, exit fees, and all that. I can get our team to get some data that we can send out in an email blast, something like that. But you can literally search yourself, do your own due diligence, and you can look up other real estate crowd funds or other crowd funds in general, and they're all online, sec.gov, and you can literally read their fee structure. It will be in their offering circulars, subscription agreements. We have a 5.5% management fee, and we charge no development fee, no acquisition fee, no refinance fee, no exit fee, no disposition fee, no anything else. We just have one flat, transparent fee, and that's it for our contribution. And on top of that fee, I do not double dip as a CEO of the company. I only, and mind you, the management fee goes to our management company, which is partners. But as a CEO, as the spokesman of the company, as the CEO of the company, as the lead developer in the company, all that, I don't take a salary. I deferred my whole first year salary. I've deferred a CEO salary this year. So it's not like there's a management fee and then a $300,000 CEO salary, as you'll see in many funds as well. Camus says, I need to come see you, King J. How can I get with you, my brother? So guys, if you want to link up for any consultations with me, coaching, mentorship, whatever, go to legacycenter.com and you'll see tabs for the coaching, mentorship, consultations, all that. We offer financial services. Our company's a part of that. So what you guys do there. Is there a return on investment? There is. I talked about it much throughout this. It's on the website. It's 8% preferred return. I explained it all in this video. It's explained on our website as well. When do you expect the IPO? We had a non-traditional IPO, non-traditional initial public offering, meaning we didn't go to the stock exchanges. We weren't underwritten by the stock exchanges, but we did offer our public shares and member units to the public through our company and offered our company to the public. We may go to an exchange one day. We have talked about it with our attorneys, but it's not in our immediate plans of future. Right now, we control our own destiny. How do you submit your deals for funding? Right now, it is best to wait till after April 29th. You can inbox me any deals on Instagram. You can send the info@tulsa-real-estate-fund.com. I'm actually going to get, let me text that real quick. I do want to get a email for deals because we usually have a deal tab on our site, but now our whole site is driving towards the last 7-day countdown, right? So we'll get that going. I want to take that note as well to get a deal email for us. It's $50 per share, 10 share minimum, or $500. Someone asked, is it $500 a share? No, it is $50 per share, 10 share minimum to be a partner. Let's see. Gotcha. Take some more questions. Home team. Let's see. All right, I think we got most of our questions. Will these different companies be creating jobs, and how do people apply for those jobs? So we as a company, offer jobs. We employ people. So we are putting some job posts on Indeed and LinkedIn for our company for different positions. And then the development companies in which we fund or we're a part of, they offer, jobs to local contractors and et cetera. K1s. K1s, we are completing our financial audit to be able to approve our final K1s. We are hoping to do that by the end of the month. I think our deadline we gave everyone through our email was June 1st. And if you guys invest, you got to be email friendly, email savvy. We give our updates through emails, right? We are a company. We are a multi-million-dollar company. And everything ain't Instagram. I do a lot of it, but honestly, our real reporting goes through emails. All our investors, you check your email and our newsletters, you'll see reports and updates on our portfolio, on K1s, on this and that, and COVID and everything. Like the facial hair, appreciate it, Scruffy, my quarantine look. As a partner, can we reinvest after the cutoff? You cannot. There will be no reinvestment opportunity after April 29th. All partners accepted then, and it's a wrap. How do you come to a 5% management fee and 50% profits versus the 2020 model, which is average? We got 22 seconds left. I'll be back tomorrow if you want to get that question answered, King, and I can explain that whole thing to you. That is our model within our fund. But I can break that down tomorrow. I'll be back at 6 p.m. Eastern. We got 10 seconds left. Thank you guys. tulsa-real-estate-fund.com. Invest with Trev. See you on the next one tomorrow, 6 p.m. Eastern. Peace.